With your first game?
I mean, individually, I think I played okay. I wish we would have came out with the win. That would have been even better. But we'll learn from this and figure out ways to win down the stretch. Knowing this is a young team, we made a few key mistakes defensively down the stretch that probably cost us the game. But we'll learn from it, watch the film, and figure things out. But I like the pace of this team. I like the energy the guys bring, and I mean, coach did the best job he could. I mean, for me to put me in position to play to my strengths and without only throwing a couple plays.
Yeah, you just got into the hotel last night and met the team. What were you like? What was that limited knowledge? How did that impact the game? And what did Luke try to have you focus on?
I mean, just keeping it simple. That was his main focus, keeping it simple. And just trying to put me in the best position to play to my strengths and to make plays. And as I get more familiar with the guys and familiar with the playbook, I think it'll be even better, especially in close games, executing down the stretch. And we could just go from there.
You guys were scoring pretty easily for much of the game as a team. What did you think defensively, just as a unit? What did you see?
Communication wasn't there for the most part. We played with the energy. They definitely made tough shots, though. But at the same time, when we didn't get stops, it was miscommunication. I think that's big, especially on young teams. Trusting each other, making sure we got communication, and making sure we're helping each other. We did that, but not for most of the game, and it cost me.
How much have they tried so far to get you up to speed on the terminology and all that stuff? Or is that going to come next?
I mean, that will come. I mean, they tried a little bit in practice, but I mean, shoot around. They put plays on my iPad, so all last night I was trying to study the playbook and figure out what they do offensively and defensively. But I mean, I've been in this position before with the Celtics where I got traded and I had to play the next day. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I got to do my job of studying what we're doing here, and I know coaches.
Luke, what do you think happened with the defense tonight?
We stopped communicating. It was. I'm not sure why, but it was simple. Things we've been doing really well, things we've done all year long. We stopped doing tonight, so unfortunate. Had a good chance tonight, let it get away. Give them credit; they played well. They hit a lot of shots, but we got to get back, get home and get back to work.
Offense kind of kept you in it, and you took that lead with that fourth quarter run. What did you think of the stretch time play, even the defense then? Was there anything you were trying to get done on that end to try to reestablish the defense?
On the defensive end? Yeah, we were trying to get stops. Guys were switching out without calling switching. So then we had two going to the ball. Then occasionally we did get a stop, and we give up an offensive rebound to one guy. They had smaller lineups out there, one guy running in. So we didn't do enough to. It's hard to win NBA games, I always say, and we didn't do enough to deserve a win tonight on the defensive end of the court.
What did you make of Thomas's debut overall, and how do you think tonight was indicative of how you might use him moving forward?
It was good. He brings another dimension to what we have. When he's able to control pick and rolls like that and get people shots. Obviously, we couldn't run a ton of stuff because he's been with us for one day, but he was good. You could see his competitive spirit come out a little bit. He was scrapping, knocking down shots. So, overall, he had a good night.
Can you still switch 1 through 5 the way you want to defensively with just the personnel switches with Thomas coming in?
We'll see. Tonight he did as good as anyone on it. We didn't really know what to expect, but he was scrap when we did switch with him. I'll check the tape and check the numbers on what it was, but he seemed to have some success for the most part when he was switching and fighting bigger players.
Do you think the personnel changes might have had something to do with the defensive communication?
It should not have. I mean, it's as simple as calling a switch. I mean, we have words for it, but whatever our words, it's that simple. And a lot of times it was guys that have been here all year. I mean, Channing didn't play tonight, so he was the only one out there, and he wasn't out there all game. So a lot of times it was just our own guys that were just not communicating, and then once we did We didn't do a good job of individually defending our man. They were driving, kicking us all night, and frustrating. But we did some good things on offense, so we'll break down the tape and learn from it and get back after it.
Lakers' 4-game win streak comes to an end in Dallas. The Mavs, bottom line, guys, were better down the stretch. Lakers had a 1-point lead with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left and pretty much fell apart from there. Gave up 130 points to the Mavs, who were on fire.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when you get away from your game. You stop trusting your system of passing the ball, moving the ball, making the defense work, not putting up quick shots. Not taking long shots, and then they're getting the ball and running. They got to a lot of ISOs down the stretch. And I know this was Isaiah's first time with the team, and they wanted him to navigate a little bit, so that needs to be adjusted a little bit. But I thought the reason that they lost is because it was an offensive duel, and Dallas won that. They won that offensive thing, and nobody was playing defense down the stretch.
Yeah.
17 turnovers by the Lakers. They gave up 29 points off of those turnovers. That didn't help at all either.
Sloppy with the ball as well.
It's pretty sloppy down the stretch.
Yeah. And it doesn't help when you don't box out or do the little things that it takes.
Sure.
You gave up a lot of points in the paint to this team to allow them to get second and third shots down the stretch.
Yeah, 52 points in the paint that you're talking about, Coop. Dallas shot 54%. They scored at least 30 points in every quarter. And the Dallas bench, I mean, a bunch of guys that you really didn't think were going to hurt you, they had 50 points, Coop.
Yeah, and you know what? These guys came off, not necessarily played efficiently, they just played hard. And when you play hard, sometimes good things happen for you.
Big game, James. Isaiah Thomas, you look at his, we're not going to talk about him yet, but I just want to say, it's going to take time for them to get used to him as well, especially on the defensive end. I mean, remember, you lose Larry Nance, kind of your defensive captain, especially on that second unit. IT comes in there. Guys are rotating and not sure when the switching, and they got to figure that part out because Dallas picked on him a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to take a practice or two to get in sync. Sometimes just one player out of sync, if he's new, hadn't been used to the defense, can crack down the whole defense. He's small. Isaiah's small, so when you're switching like that, you got to be careful now. He's not Lonzo Ball. He's not 6'6", or he's not, Clarkson, who's like 6'6", big. He's a little smaller, so I think they'll have to make some adjustments with that.
And they're trying to find out what his deficiencies are, especially in that pick-and-roll game, so people can come over there and help him a little bit more. I think, again, as James said, practice